interesting. This is kind of unusual that these pilots saw different things, and that is sort of, I guess, adding to the mystery of all this.
Yeah, not even the pilots apparently were really able to identify what they saw.
Again, we don't know the point of origin of this object.
We don't really understand what this object was doing.
So somehow we've gone from a Chinese weather balloon being shot down to a new Alaska shoot down to a Canada shoot down to Montana airspace being closed, but it's the details they haven't quite put together for you yet that are the strangest of all. While researching this story to assure I could bring you everything accurately, I stumbled in things I didn't expect to see. The F-22 pilots' conflicting stories really go to describe everything. Something Fox News showed in the background when they're presenting the information. Why did they do it? I'm going to tell you. We're all the way back to this image, which you're all very familiar with, the Tic Tac video. And when you read the description of what was shot down over Canada, what was shot down over Alaska, and when you hear the F-22 pilots' accounts, say this may be something far different than what we're being led to think, or we're being led to think this is something far more different. Those of you who understand how the Mockingbird media works and Project Bluebeam, well, everything will quickly come into focus. Now, before we go any further, if you haven't subscribed to Lisa's channel, please just take a few seconds to do that. If you didn't watch her video yesterday about the Sons of the American Legion, a new fundraising effort we put together to support our veterans, please go back and watch it. Please donate if you can. It means the world to those veterans that we're now working with. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, Lisa will put a link just above. I appreciate you clicking it, subscribing, and making sure your bell is checked. And also, I invite you to go to the sponsor of this video, lowercarbswithlisa.com. Again, that's lowercarbswithlisa. You'll see it here on your screen. Drink this first thing in the morning, fast, delicious, high-protein breakfast smoothie boosts metabolism, increases energy, and zaps bad food cravings so you can look and feel your best while at the same time enjoying what you eat. The product is right here, Super Brightness Lighting Low Carb Light by BioTrust. One of many flavors they have available. This one, strawberries and cream, an amazing routine to take up. And right now, a very special discount. As you see, you're getting up to 51% off, so you can experience just how effective BioTrust Low Carb truly is for yourself. I hope you'll go over again to lowercarbswithlisa.com. But now, let's get back to this broadcast. So let's piece this all back together. U.S. military shoots down suspected Chinese surveillance balloon, not the story today. And then next, the U.S. is now trying to recover objects that were shot down over Alaska. That story in itself begs a few more questions over Dead Horse, Alaska. But you see, the object had already made entry, which is one of my paramount concerns, especially that we've invested in a new system to catch these balloons, but I'm not saying this is a balloon. That's where the details start coming in. Recovery operations continue today near Dead Horse, Alaska. U.S. North Commander said in a statement, "We have no further details," and a lot of people say they have no further details at this time about the object, including its capabilities, purpose, or origin. There's a big mystery around this one, and also the one that I'm about to tell you about in Canada. No idea of its capabilities, its purpose, or its origin. Here's what we do know. It flew at 40,000 feet, right where commercial airliners fly, hence the next bullet point, deemed a safety threat to civilian aircraft. Unknown origin or ownership. You can gather maybe no identifying marks. Cylindrical and silverish gray, much different than the balloon that was described earlier. And this description flows through to the Canadian object. Roughly the size of a car, smaller than the Chinese spy balloon shot down last Saturday. Object not maneuverable or propelled. Well, there's where the F-22 information comes in, because there's a conflict on that. Because like a plane at that height, with no propulsion, it would simply fall. So leading many to think this is a balloon because it would float at that height, correct? Well, let's go deeper. Shot down by U.S. F-22 with Sidewinder missile. We know that part of the story. Object shot down over Canada in escalating aerial drama. Small cylindrical object was spotted at 40,000 feet. It is the third aerial incursion into North America this month, at least what we know. However, object shot down over Canada is similar to what was shot down in Alaska. Pilots divulge more concerning information. We need to understand that to understand this story. We have Justin Trudeau coming out. I ordered the takedown of an unidentified object that violated Canadian airspace. Actually, it was in conjunction with Biden from what they're telling us. A little chuckle I got off of this comment. How did the object enter Canada's airspace without a vaccine? I couldn't help but to present that because it actually made me chuckle in a very serious story. But then shortly thereafter, you'll see there our military Boeing KC-135R Stratotanker was turned around, redirected. That is the blue line you see on your screen. You see the closed airspace. A little zoomed in version of this. Well, what happened? You probably heard the story that they went ahead. There's the North American Aerospace Defense Command and United States North Command notification that they implemented a temporary flight restriction airspace in Central because they spotted something, but they couldn't find it. U.S. reopens Montana airspace after radar anomaly sparks concern. Boy, none of this story's lining up, and it gets far, far stranger.
We do not know who owns it.
We have no further details about the object at this time, including any description of its capabilities, purpose, or origin.
I want to stress again, we don't know what entity owns this object.
Boy, that makes me feel a whole lot more secure. How about you? Nobody knows anything or what entity this is from. But Kirby goes on.
Isn't there a concern that these objects, the object and the balloon, were both discovered when they're already flying over U.S. airspace? Shouldn't they be detected before they enter the U.S.?
I think we're going to continue to learn a lot about how these things are or can be detected in a better way. I don't want to get into exactly how this one was detected, but I can assure you that we're going to continue to try to improve our own knowledge base with respect.
Back to this article, object shot down over Canada, similar to what was shot down in Alaska. Pilots divulged more concerning information. It was divulged in only one or two places, however. The one I didn't expect it to see divulged on was CNN. So I'm going to play it because it's the information that really goes to the heart of this story, because we have conflicting details. The F-22 pilots aren't agreeing on what they saw, but what one reported is extremely concerning.
Those pilots, we have learned, have given very conflicting accounts of what they actually experienced, with some pilots saying that the object interfered with the plane's sensors, other pilots saying that they didn't really experience that, other pilots saying that when they looked at the object they could identify no identifiable propulsion system, and they did not know how it was actually staying in the air.
I want you to take that statement and think about that for a moment. A trained F-22 pilot has no idea how the object is staying afloat. To me, that says they were very well aware it was not a balloon, rather a cylindrical, grayish object, which I'm going to guess, or we have to somewhat try to conclude, that the pilot must have seen something that looked maybe metallic, something that they knew needed propulsion to stay afloat. And with today being one of the highest viewed events in the country, the Super Bowl, are we looking at a disclosure? Will there be a break-in with information? Man, you know I don't believe in coincidence, and the timing around all of this is eerily strange. But if that's not strange enough, watch what Fox News puts on in the background when covering this topic.
The object was much lower than the Chinese spy balloon shot off the South Carolina coast last weekend. Earlier tonight, the White House announced sanctions on 6 Chinese aerospace companies it says supports Beijing's surveillance balloons.
Now, you've studied the media with us for a long time. You know there is no such thing as coincidence or accident. Why did they show the Tic Tac video? What are they leading up to? Why is there conflicting F-22 pilot accounts? Why do we know nothing about capabilities or even what the object is? Why is Montana airspace shut down momentarily, brought back up? What's going to happen today? What is going to be disclosed? Hang on, I can't wait to see it with you. We'll be covering it. I promise you that. We love you all. Can't thank you enough for being here. Until next time, Godspeed and God bless. Justice Night. signing out.
Cruising at that altitude of about 40,000 feet. So this has all added to the Pentagon's wariness of describing in more detail what this object actually is.